Today's storm forced several road closures, what's open and what's not, and how drivers are coping.
Tonight, residents came to City Hall demanding more from the city to help them after the flooding on January 22nd.
Tonight, organizations are rallying together to help flood victims as another storm moves through their neighborhood.
It was like thunder, like, and then the sound of trees, I thought, snapping like twigs.
A powerful storm leaves a trail of destruction across California. CBS 8 News live at 11 starts right now. More rain is slowly moving into San Diego, and tonight people all across the county are bracing for a storm that's expected to pack a powerful punch. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Fears of more damage from flooding remain high tonight as that incoming storm crawls toward us. We have team coverage tonight. CBS 8's Richard Allen is live in North County with the first effects of the storm. Our Jasmine Ramirez is checking in with people hit hard by flooding 2 weeks ago in southeast San Diego.
But we start out tonight with Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis with what the radar looks like right now. Carlene.
Well, it's quite active right now. We've been looking at rain moving in throughout the evening, and now we are just watching and monitoring a cluster of more moderate and heavy rainfall offshore that's going to be moving in. So when you take a look at our radar right now, you are seeing widespread rainfall that has been moving in, but also if you look over the Pacific, there's still a whole lot more that's in store for us as we go throughout the night. And the key with this, it's slow moving. That's why it took a while to get to us, even though it impacted LA yesterday. Flash flood warning is in effect, and that's encompassing some areas of North County, including Fallbrook as well as Camp Pendleton, and that's going to go until about 11:34 tonight. Heavy rainfall has already impacted North County, and even more is on the way. Now, we've had a modification when it comes to the flood advisory. We had it for coastal communities as well as metro areas. That has since been lifted, but still going until 11:46 across the mountains and foothills. That will continue, and then we go into tomorrow where we're still talking about the flood watch. That means at any moment we could be looking at more warnings as well as advisories. We will go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast coming up. Marcella.
Thanks, Carlene. And remember, you can keep up with the latest weather conditions and alerts on the go by downloading our free CBS 8 app from Google Play or the Apple App Store. And we would like to invite you to share the weather where you live with us. You can upload your photos and videos that you've taken safely on our CBS 8 app. Just go to the Near Me section that's at the bottom of the screen and click on the Share With Us button. This slow-moving storm left the North County soaked and also led to a number of road closures today.
CBS 8's Richard Allen is live at Oceanside with more on how today's rain impacted both commuters and businesses. Richard.
Well, that's right. Carlsbad, Oceanside, and other parts of North County bore the brunt of this atmospheric river today, as you said, leading to road closures like the 5 entrance at Palomar Airport Road behind me here. And this is far from over. So far here in Carlsbad, we've gotten about 2 inches of rain, and that rain just keeps on coming.
I was overwhelmed from the rain.
Well, not the intense and at times destructive storm that we experienced 2 weeks ago. This slow-moving atmospheric river today proved to be overwhelming for some San Diegans, especially for drivers who found themselves out on the roadways.
And we're swerving through the rain. California does not know how to drive in the rain.
Tristan Schuld is from Wisconsin and says San Diegans could learn a lot from his home state.
It's because we learned how to drive in the snow, so yeah, this isn't that bad. Have you guys spent a couple winters down there? I'm sure you guys get a lot better. Yeah.
In the North County, today's steady rains, at times drizzling, at other times pouring, forced the closures of the right lanes of eastbound 78 at El Camino Real in Oceanside, with Caltrans crews on the scene, as well as the on-ramp to Interstate 5 at Palomar Airport Road.
I roll with it.
Norma Maris says she doesn't let this soggy weather or the road closures affect her when she gets behind the wheel, crediting her time in rain-soaked Hawaii.
It doesn't bother me. So I used to be terrified of driving in the rain, but moving from Hawaii, I'm like, all right.
It's not nothing for some local businesses, though, with the heavy rains keeping customers away and putting a damper on profits.
It's definitely a big hit, especially here, as you can see, if he wants to walk through the pond.
I think we probably had enough for the year. I mean, that's the way I feel. Yeah.
Julie Petrie says Mother Nature's already done enough for San Diego in 2024, even though it's only February.
I'm ready for summer.
That's right. Summer can't come soon enough. Now, today's rains also led to the closure of both directions of State Route 78 between the entrance to the Safari Park up in Escondido and Bandy Canyon Road. That while Caltrans investigated the possibility of a sinkhole there. No word yet on when that stretch of the 78 will reopen to traffic. Carlo and Marcella.
All right. Thank you, Richard. Tonight, people who live in southeast San Diego, hit hard by flooding 2 weeks ago, went to City Hall to demand more action from local leaders as they continue their recovery process.
CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez joins us live from Southcrest, where people say they need a lot more help. Jasmine?
Yes, tonight we've been speaking with the residents who are living along the street. Now, they say that they are not able to live in their homes because of the damage they experienced during the flood 2 weeks ago. Some of these families say they've been sleeping in their cars. Floodwaters came rushing through Southcrest on January 22nd.
All the losses that they lost everything, just like me. Take it all of the downstairs because everything was contaminated with sewage water.
This is Martin Aguilar. He was one of the Southcrest residents who attended tonight's city council meeting.
They need to put us in another place temporary out of the neighborhood because it's contaminated.
The city says it opened a hotel in Midway to house families, and that the Housing Commission triaged more than 250 households for emergency housing needs. However, there are families like Martin's who are still waiting for help.
These are tough times.
Andrea Guerrero is the executive director of Alliance San Diego. She was helping Martin's family tonight.
It's really important that affected community members go to one of the assistance centers, like the Mountain View Assistance Center, that will reopen after the rains.
Once reopened, it's where residents can be put on a list that allows the city and county to better connect them with resources. This could include financial resources, as well as clothing, food, and information on tenant rights.
I think if we all pull together and everybody does their part, including the city, then we will get through this.
Now, there's no word on exactly when the assistance center will reopen, but we're told it will likely be after this storm is over. Back to you all in the studio.
Thanks, Jasmine.
On top of more rain, families living in southeast San Diego are being asked to beware of people who are trying to take advantage of their misfortune.
Officials warn that scammers are out targeting people. As CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez reports, a response team is trying to help people who may be confused and worried about what comes next.
Tonight, the Southeast Disaster Response Team is working to help people affected by the flood from 2 weeks ago and keeping a close eye on the weather this week. 15 organizations came together to update, inform, and discuss what is being done to help people affected by the storm.
Though that we feel that there's a lot that needs to be done.
That's why tonight they focus on what needs to be done to help as organizations prepare for phase 2.
Which is now restoration, trying to figure out what we can do to partner with the city and the county to make these whole.
Residents in these neighborhoods are still feeling the impacts 2 weeks later. Many people were displaced as a result of flooding and now staying in motels, shelters, or with family.
Mainly, we just need more housing for all the people that lost their houses right now. More vouchers for more days because they're only getting 5 days. It's not enough.
While these communities are still recovering, scams and predators have been trying to take advantage of them.
Thanks to the community members who have been policing their own neighborhood, have brought that to our attention. So we have definitely going to ramp up our advocacy and figure out who these people are to make sure that it does not happen.
It's a major concern for Jesse Preciado, who was affected by the storm. He tells me he showed up tonight to pass along this information to his neighbors who couldn't make it.
Just making sure that we know who is actually the organizations that are helping and not the predators out there trying to take advantage.
With more rain this week, these organizations are making sure the community is prepared in case of a worst-case scenario.
Continue to let people know, they just must continue to prepare, which is why we continue with sandbags, we continue with tarps, a lot of plastic and stuff like that, so these families can preserve the little that they do have.
Esmeralda Perez, CBS 8.
Thanks, Esmeralda. Still ahead, a look at some of the damage today's storm caused across California.
Plus, pushback against the new proposal to tighten security along America's southern border. The details still ahead.
And what we're learning tonight about a cancer diagnosis for Britain's King Charles III after this. In Chile tonight, at least 122 people are dead after wildfires tore through a densely populated area over the weekend. Hundreds of people are still missing and more than 1,300 homes are destroyed. Officials say the fire started in 4 different points around the same time on Friday. They believe they were set intentionally. It comes as the country faces a heat wave and high winds spread the flames quickly. The president declared 2 days of national mourning. Buckingham Palace says King Charles III is resting at home right now after undergoing treatment for cancer. The palace says King Charles will suspend his public duties but will continue with state business. The form of cancer he has was not disclosed, but the palace says it is not related to the king's recent treatment for benign prostate condition.
The King Charles ship sails on. What we're not going to see is a lot of him, in person on public duties for the next, for how long it takes for him to have this treatment.
The palace says the king, quote, remains wholly positive about his treatment.
Some House Republicans are pushing back against a new bill that aims to tighten security at the southern border. A bipartisan group of senators introduced it last night. It would cost $118 billion, and that includes aid to Ukraine and Israel. The bill allows the president to restrict border crossings if certain numbers are reached and would raise the threshold for people seeking asylum. The asylum process would also be expedited. Meanwhile, floodwaters inundated parts of Los Angeles today. At least 16 people had to be rescued by emergency crews.
Officials say there have also been more than 120 mudslides reported across the city of LA. One of those slides was so strong it knocked an entire house off its foundation.
Joy Benedict is in Studio City, where she talked with homeowners about tonight's muddy mess.
The rain is still falling here in Los Angeles. We are right now in the hills of Studio City, and you can see by the rock and the debris that is here on this driveway that the hillside also came down with it. This is part of a mudslide that actually happened on Sunday night. This home over here was damaged, as was this home up this driveway, as you can see, that has the garage door still open. The mud itself was above my head. That's how high it came down there, and it pushed this vehicle all the way to the mailbox, and a second vehicle that was also parked up there all the way across the street. And of course, it took everything else with it too.
I'll give you a...
There's a lot of digging out in the hills of Studio City after a mudslide damaged 2 homes and sent debris flying.
I heard this bam, 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 like really loud sound.
What Scott Toro heard was his neighbor's cars and his being pushed around like Hot Wheels on a slippery track. They then landed in his driveway.
And I looked out there and I saw all those boulders out on the street.
This is our first look from above, as you can see where the hillside gave way, pushing the mud and boulders into swimming pools, living rooms, and the roadway, damaging at least 2 homes on Lock Ridge Road. Were they home when this happened?
They were home, and they said what happened was it came right through their living room and through their garage.
Toro is thankful the only debris is in his driveway, but it flooded all the way down to Fryman Canyon, trapping more cars.
There was like fencing and a refrigerator and like construction materials and a huge river of water.
Crews came and cleared the road earlier, at least making it passable, pushing the boulders to the side. 9 homes were evacuated.
We live in a canyon, so we're used to like the overflow of water and a lot of trees falling and power outages, but this is, next level.
A level that's about to get even wetter as this river of water continues to fall from the sky.
I've never seen anything like this here. It was like literally a river on the road.
In the 21 years we've lived here, we've never seen any kind of slippage like that.
Of course, all eyes are not only on the sky as the rain falls, but also on the ground. And this is the good news, and that's the fact that the water runoff is still coming up clear right now. That's what you want to see when you have a rainstorm, because once that watercolor turns, that's when you know the hillside is also coming down with it. But of course, this storm is far from over. Back to you in San Diego.
Joy Benedict reporting. Meantime, to the north, heavy winds blew through Sacramento last night. This is video of a big rig on the 5 blown over, and it ended up partially blocking the interstate. No word yet on injuries. CHP says they got multiple calls about wind impacting vehicles last night.
We know how heavy those semis are I know they're high profile, but boy, those are some strong winds.
Yeah, they were dealing with hurricane force winds when it came to those wind speeds picking up in that area.
Yeah, we've seen rain here, but no wind like that, nothing close.
No, I actually had someone asking me on social media earlier today about the wind. Wind does not look to be a major factor for us here. It's just going to be a lot of rainfall that we're going to experience all the way into tomorrow. So when it comes to our wind speeds, gusts picking up into the 30s, maybe 20s, but not at the threshold for any alerts. So we don't have any alerts when it comes to the wind. We are focusing more so on flood concerns. We have an active radar right now, and we're seeing rain for downtown. 54 degrees current temperature. You got calm winds and high humidity. For the rest of tonight, still holding on to rain in those 50s as well. So cloud cover kind of evening things out when it comes to our temperatures, and then still talking about more rain in the forecast all the way through 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. That does not look to let up because this slow mover has finally arrived. We are looking at some light to moderate rainfall, heavier across North County, where we've already seen the brunt of the moisture for today, and even more is in store all the way through tomorrow. And you also have this swath of moisture that's still offshore, and it's going to be moving in. So basically tapping into that atmospheric river we've been talking about. And it's been a slow mover. I know much of the day we had a lot more heavier rainfall for North County. Most of the county did not experience heavy rainfall, but we are looking at that potential tonight through tomorrow with the time frame finally arriving of the heaviest and most widespread activity through Tuesday. Also, the snow level is going to be coming down as that low closes in, dropping it near about 5,000 feet. We could see about 1 to 3 inches of snow in our local mountains. Over the past couple of days, the bulk of the moisture, as mentioned, has been across North County, more than 2 inches of rainfall, and that's for Oceanside, the same for Fallbrook, as well as Palomar Mountain. You're also talking about an inch for Escondido, a little bit more than that for Encinitas. But the more south you go and the more inland, you're looking at some much smaller totals. But that's because the rain hasn't fully arrived. As mentioned, it's been a slow mover, but it will start to make an impact. And going through at least Wednesday, we are looking at about 2.4 inches added for Chula Vista, as well as seeing more than 1.5 inches for much of the county. But that only takes you through Wednesday. We still have even more rain that's in the works all the way through Thursday as well as Friday. So still holding on to those chances and already have saturated ground, especially from areas for North County where that flash flood warning is still going all the way until 11:30 tonight. We have the atmospheric river moving out, but a series of low pressure systems keep the rain in the forecast all the way through Friday. We don't dry out until we hit the weekend, and also looking at a chance for some thunderstorms by tomorrow. As mentioned, that snow level coming down. You could see some snow in our local mountains.
Once all the rain is gone and there are no clouds.
Yeah, then we can enjoy that snow.
Looking forward to that. Thanks, Carlene. A wild rescue caught on camera next.
Plus, why Super Bowl bets are expected to be bigger than ever this year after this.
We're getting a look at a new rescue video that's sure to be a hoot. Poor guy. Colorado Parks and Wildlife officials tried to help an injured owl who you can see did not want anything to do with them. Made a break for some nearby trees, leading officers on a brief chase, but they used a blanket, threw it on the little runaway to get it under control. There you see, though, it's now recovering in a rehab center, still wondering what the heck happened to him.
Right? Look at the
He's like,
I'm not happy.
excuse you.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
Exactly.
He's, I've seen some things.
It'll be better in the long run. But boy, frightening.
By the way, happy birthday, Marcel.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, honey. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here with you.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, she's had to grace us with her presence today. I'm so happy for it. And we are just 6 days away from the biggest betting day of the year. We're talking about the Super Bowl. And with the big game being played in Las Vegas for the first time ever, the bets are expected to be bigger than ever.
Right now, millions of sports bettors are putting in their own final preps on specialized wagers. Those are known as prop bets. Those cover just about anything from the result of the coin toss to the last play of the game.
Taylor Swift fans can even get in the fun with bets ranging from the over-under for an appearance during the game or how many times she's mentioned. I already lost. I thought she was going to announce a new album at the Super Bowl. So I already lost money.
Grammys, yeah.
Oh, that really?
No.
I was like, no, I thought you were
talking.
You're really that gullible?
Meantime,
Yeah.
CBS 8's Jake Garriani and Marcus Greaves are in Vegas ahead of the game. Come on now.
Opening night here in Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. Marcus, Super Bowl 58 up and running.
Come on, man. You can see the party behind us, right? It's our first chance to talk to the players. We have that and a whole lot more coming up.
Now, CBS 8 Sports.
And welcome to Allegiant Stadium. Jake Garriani, Marcus Greaves. It really felt like the Super Bowl officially kicked off tonight. Opening night here in Las Vegas. Our first chance to hear from both teams.
Man, Jake, and it was a zoo today. I mean, for the folks, if you can see behind us, there's a whole lot of people here. Jake, we had anywhere from music blasting, marching bands, people dancing. I even saw you get down a little bit, man. But no, seriously, like you said, we did get to talk to some of the players. More importantly, we got to hear from both quarterbacks for both teams. Two very different stories. You got Patrick Mahomes, who a lot of people want to consider already one of the best quarterbacks of all time. But then you got Brock Purdy for the 49ers, Mr. Irrelevant. Jake, you're a former quarterback yourself. I know this is going to be a fun matchup, but hey, the fact that we got to hear from them, man, they're both excited.
Of course they are, right? I mean, everyone's kind of calm right now, but the excitement is building, and we didn't get away without a Taylor Swift reference, right?
Brother. Here we go, right?
We had it all tonight.
People can overlook you, may not think you're the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, but man, if you believe in yourself and you think that you have what it takes, and you truly do believe that, and you don't give up on it, then you can achieve it.
I mean, your goal is to be the best player that you can be. I know I'm blessed to be around a lot of great players around me. And so right now, it's doing whatever I can to beat a great 49ers team and trying to get that third ring.
She's unbelievable. She's rewriting the history books herself. I told her I'll have to hold up my end of the bargain and come home with some hardware too.
My mindset, just breathe in, enjoy the entire show, and go play your best on Sunday.
Yeah, they're great, man. I mean, they're a great defense. They've been playing well all year. They're consistent. They're well coached. They fly around. They bring a lot at you. So obviously we'll have our hands full.
Everything that's going on, I'm just kind of taking it step by step and day by day. And even like this experience right here, I'm new to everything, so I'm just kind of, embracing it right now.
Me, I always wanted to be ready for whenever my opportunity came. I didn't know if I was going to, be a backup for a while in the NFL and maybe get a shot in 3 to 4 to 5 years.
It's surreal to say that we're in our fourth one now, and we can enjoy it, and we kind of know what to expect.
I've worked my tail off with these guys, and I have so much love for this game. I can't imagine not doing this for as long as I can, because I know I'll miss it when it's all said and done.
And Jake, they're not going to be as excited, right? It's only Monday. It's the first day of the Super Bowl week, but as the week goes on, I already know both quarterbacks are going to start ramping things up. They're going to get excited, and then come Sunday kickoff, it's going to be a whole lot different. They're not going to be reserved anymore.
Everybody, right? Everyone's going to start. It's the beginning of a very long week of buildup. We're just getting started here in Las Vegas, and Vegas has turned into this haven. You see football fans everywhere right now. Cannot wait to see what it brings, but we sure got our first taste of it tonight, didn't we?
And this is, like you said, it's only the beginning. Didn't we see a Cowboys fan walking around with cowboy boots and a cowboy hat on top of a full Rey Mysterio outfit? I mean, it just puts it in perspective how awesome this is about to be. And again, it is only day one, my friend. Cannot believe it.
We've seen it all because it is Las Vegas and it is the Super Bowl. On behalf of Marcus Greaves, I'm Jake Garriani. Let's go ahead and send it back to you from Allegiant Stadium.
All right, get some rest, guys. It's going to be a lot more fun this week.
It's going to be hard for them to go to sleep because they're in the middle of this as we take you out to Las Vegas, a place where, I mean, you don't need to sleep. There's things to do 24/7.
Yeah, look at it. 11:30, it still looks worthy.
The Late Show, Stephen Colbert is next. Monday is in the books. Try to stay dry and safe out there, everyone.